Welcome back to ShopDog-Garage. It's another 78 Camaro video. I see a hose that looks exactly like what I wanted it to look like. I was told that we got another clip, and for once I actually remembered my lock retainer plate tool, which, not saying his doesn't work, but it doesn't have the spot to slide the ring. So see, when this goes over it, that little snap ring pops on here, and it's just easier to get it on and off than fighting it out of here and onto here and onto here and then finally out. So let's get going. Alright, well, hopefully our buddies at the parts place gave us what we actually wanted here. So that is an original style. That is a tilt column style. Wow, look how long those fingers reach out. Except this one's tilt and telescope. So this is also a tilt. And you'll note it is quite a bit shorter. So hopefully this is the one we want. I was concerned because you can see where these reach to, and then on both of these they're much longer. But I bet that's going to have to do, I bet these are in different spots for the two different versions here, because this is a non-tilt, and that is right next to that hole. And this is a tilt, and it's also right next to that hole. So I don't know, we'll find out. We'll make sure that works before we finish. Okay, decided to test it. So it's green and brown wire here, and here it's squeaking. Don't worry about it going in and out. That's because I don't have it screwed down. But if I I do not have enough hands for this. Now, let me pull the key. Buzzer goes away. Okay, I'll have to work on that a little bit because it definitely seems to want to stay shorted. So I will work on that a little bit more. Okay, and I completely forgot that it's also going to buzz even if the car is on and you open the door. So this is working correctly. This one is flagged anytime the key is in and you're not in crank. In crank, you can push that down. Otherwise, it will buzz if the door is also open. Okay, so we found a screw that we like. So we got turn signal lever. Look how nice that looks. So next thing we're going to do, go ahead and press the spring down and get this block plate on. Okay, and the biggest difference between this style, which to be fair is considerably sturdier, and this style with thin barrels, and it usually comes with two different barrels, is this can hold this retainer. So now, instead of fighting that the whole way down like we would before, I can just take a couple screwdrivers and push it down into the lock groove. Okay, and once it's in the groove like it is there, you just back the adjuster nut back off. The lock retainer will seat like it just did, and this tool comes off. And then the reason you see this from 69 and later is this lock, this parking lock. So now the wheel can't turn unless you have the key. Okay, so we've got the dust shield. We just put the mounting bracket on, getting ready to do our reverse switch, or for reverse lights and neutral safety. Pretty sure these two are reverse lights and these two look like neutral safety. Obviously a new ignition switch. We got our new comb. It's all looking good. He's just peeling. Alright, and we've got that adjusted. There's a keyway for park. There's also one for neutral. We put it in park, got it lined up, flipped the key, cycled the transmission a couple times, came back until the key would release, to go back to park, and that is where we are locked down. Not that far from where it was on the old column. Okay, so because we ordered the actual factory style hose, I mean, it's still not perfect, and I'm probably still going to take a piece of metal and sheathe there, but that helped. We got it away from it a little. Other than that, I'm real happy with it, but short water pumps and long pump mountings, always a problem. Very next thing we get to do is try to remember how on earth all this goes together. It's been a minute. So I do know that we're gonna need these blue bolts that we got up here. Let's get this wiring out of the way. So I've got one of them up there right now. Gonna have to find the other one because we put one up when we put the brake in. So we're gonna have to do that. We've got, yeah, this gasket thing. So we gotta find the bolts for that and the gasket for that. So hopefully this goes pretty smooth. Like I always say, it is really handy to have a second car to look at for stuff sometimes. So we haven't taken that apart. So I'm going to see just how hard it is to get in there, because I don't think I need to put that plastic bit in yet, but I got to put the column in. So I'm going to probably pop the hood and take a look. Look at that. We now have a column. So we're pretty stoked about that. It took us a couple minutes to find everything because, you know, it's been a little while. But that looks really, really nice. Now that's the actual steering wheel, and we did verify that unlike every other GM I normally have worked on, the horn contact is actually down. So the wheel we have in it right now, it's just, you know, for moving cars. So it's upside down because normally the horn contact would be here, not here in an older car, but you can see it doesn't fit this column too well anyway. It just has to turn the wheels. That's all that's for. It's just junk. So we just wanted to verify that that was right and that we didn't have the steering gear 180 out, and we don't, so pretty happy about that. Got her up here. Let's actually see if all this works. So if I turn steering, everything works. So stuff, it's the little things sometimes that make you feel pretty good. Okay, Parts Place came through twice for us in today's exciting episode. And something I just did is, because we're not going to have a speedo cable here, we found a nice plug that we liked, but because of the location, I actually just RTV'd that plug in. That's an area that could weep pretty easy. So this one, you would think that as well, but honestly I think that's going to be where all of our EFI wiring goes through. So we're probably going to do one of those things like I did on the dog sled. So that'll be a fine location for that. I think pretty soon we should probably burn that through though before there's things behind it we don't want to get hot. I guess there was no time like the present, so we just went ahead and melted that through. So we're definitely going to use that now. See, we're probably starting to get close to enough for today. I sure hope this was a decent video for tonight. But yeah, column is finally together and in. We're very happy about that. It's nice to have our brake pedal. We were going to do the accelerator pedal, but we don't actually need to on this car. So let's wait for the carpet. But yeah, because this one's just a snap through for a throttle cable, so not that big a deal. Yeah, we're getting a little closer. So I do love having all this space back here. So next time, maybe headliner, maybe wires, we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. This has been another ShopRex approved video.